And I know how did the. I know we used to have a couple of lines which I think you still use with Chelle, where are you from? And she used to say I'm from USA, and I would go
Yeah.
like, oh, United States of America, and then you'd come back and say no, United States of Alcohol.
Yes.
So how did those lines come? Was it just happen chance, or
It
was there
just
actually
just
preparation?
just happened.
Okay.
I mean, so just to get started with the children, see,
Yeah.
puppet show is more like, they will be able to enjoy with us. I mean,
Right.
like, just laugh. Okay, have some good fun when we are doing the puppet show. So those few lines in the beginning is only to just get them interested in what you are going to speak.
Right.
It's all there in the even in the teaching line also. When you are
Okay.
teaching a lesson, maybe if you are standing before the children for about 20 to 25 minutes, the first thing you do when you start your teaching is the initial 2 or 3 minutes. First, you catch their interest
Mm.
in what you are going to teach
Right.
or what you are going to tell. So once they get that interest, it'll be easy for you to have them to listen for the rest of the 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, you're
So that,
trying to get there.
yeah,
You're trying
that
to get
makes them, more interesting. Oh, and then when we get their interest, they'll be able to listen through, be it 20 minutes or little more, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you also used to sing a song, depending on that Sunday school. Sometimes we used to do a
Yes.
memory verse. Sometimes we used to do a song. And jokingly, even though we used to say Chelle is from Alwal,
Mm.
she is actually from USA. Right.
Yes.
So
Yeah, yeah.
was that a gift, Anna? Did somebody bring that puppet to you, or did you?
Yeah, earlier somebody gave. I think you also have sent a couple of puppets,
Yes.
and because those days puppets were very rarely available, only like getting them from US and other places. But now the puppets are available mostly in different places, though some puppets are for sale from abroad also,
Hmm.
which are more available. I mean, like, you have to really search for them, like OM books and other places. Some individuals who have some people to send to them and they sell, and they are good. But at the same time, some of them are also locally preparing, uh, which are also good to be used for the puppet shows.
Hmm. Okay, I think we've talked a lot about the puppet show, so I will move from that to
Yeah.
something else. Unless you feel I haven't covered something on the puppet show, I feel like we've covered a lot
No, I
of
think
the.
we have covered. Yeah.
Yeah, I know humor was a big part of our ministry, and the puppet show, or even with the volunteers, like we always used to joke around. I think a couple of things we always learned. Humor obviously was one big part. Thanksgiving was a big part because you taught us very early in life that
Mm.
yes, you should work ministry and all, but you should also give thanks. We used to
Yes.
have a separate Thanksgiving meetings after camps, after any big event. So that was a big part of. Uh, how you was that always a part of you, Anna? Was Thanksgiving a part of you, or did you also learn it from somewhere that we have to give?
Um, yeah, Thanksgiving is also very important, though I learned through training and other sources also. But as we see, when you pray and you do the ministry and the work, it is always good to thank God. And
Mm,
I am reminded about a small imaginary story that goes like this. Uh, God sends two angels to earth, and he orders the angels to go with the two bowls and says, okay, one is prayer bowl and one is thank you bowl.
huh,
And these two angels come. It's just imaginary story.
Yeah. Yeah.
The prayer bowl fills up very quickly,
Uh,
and the prayer bowl goes back and gives them all to God, comes back again. But the thank you bowl hardly fills, and that was just a illustration to remind us, as much as we pray, we also need to thank God,
uh,
because even I don't know if you remember, there is a short chorus in Hindi which goes like this: स्तुति आराधना ऊपर जाती है, आशीष लेकर नीचे आती है.
yeah. Yes.
आशीष लेकर नीचे
Niche.
आती है. When you thank God, it brings down the blessings of God. So that's where we also, as you remember, after the camps we used to have a Thanksgiving meeting,
Right.
and that was a time where we more used to spend in giving thanks to God. At the same time, at the end of the meeting, we used to have a what you call evaluation.
Mm,
Was everything good? Did
mm.
everything go well? What is that we can see to improve the camp next time? And that's how Thanksgiving helps us to continue to do the God's work.
Yep. So I think I'll shift to the volunteers, Anna.
Mm.
So how did you because these are all very senior people. Like John David Anna was a principal.
Yeah.
Sunil Anna is a gazetted officer working in the government. I was just a volunteer. Other people. So many different egos, different mindsets. How do you get all of them together, Anna? Because that is a skill which you have.
Uh, yeah. Uh, as you said, John David principle, that was at later time. Even Sunil as a guested officer at later time. But initially, as I knew them, it was like, telling them, okay, we have a program so and so. Would you be able to join me and go along with me? And like as earlier also said, John David also, he used to say, Anna, I don't know much anything about it, but I used to tell them, no, yeah, you don't know, but you can take this chance and attempt to do. And
Mm.
once you start learning, you will be able to do the same thing with Sunil also. And both of them were very good, and of course you also were there, and Sunny was there, and few others also. I am not able to really remember the names, but they were quite I mean
Yeah.
helpful. uh, they slowly started learning and picked up, and today you see, like John, as you said, principal, that is this secular part of it, and he has grown up, he has studied, and a principal managing the school of so many, maybe hundreds of children. And
Right.
Sunil now, a guested officer, but he's still now involved in the ministry, uh, along with his in-laws, and also going to different places. And that's how, over the period of time, they have learned. And I should say, like, children ministry, though I was with Scripture Union or TCM or CF, was instrumental in equipping youngsters who used to come. And today they are, happy to be used of God and blessed to be used of God.
Yes, yes. I think what now that you're talking, and I think what I remember is there were clear roles. There
Yes.
were clear roles for the volunteers. Like I would always handle the water and getting the vegetables and all of that stuff. John David Anna and Sunil Anna would help with the food, but if they had any sessions, they would then change clothes quickly and come and do a session.
Yeah.
So I think there were clear roles defined for who was doing what. There was no overlap. I think at the leadership level, I think you were very clear. Was like Sunny will help with the music, Bunny will help with all of the preparations for the
Yeah.
camp, John David, and I think that was one of the reasons why we would all gel together. And I know we used to do a meeting, a prayer meeting before the camp,
Yes.
and also before every camp started. Every
Yes.
day we would pray for like 15 minutes and kind of like divide our
Yeah.
duties as a reminder. That was also a big part of the
So
of your
there were
success.
different departments, like as you said, music department, and one person used to be responsible. And Johnson was very much into the music line, and he used to organize like the theme song or the songs that we sing in the camp. He used to take initiative and take time and bring in the volunteers at his own place or wherever to practice and prepare them for the music singing or the music team.
Yeah.
So likewise also like cooking, Sunil was in charge and you were all there to help him with getting the needed things and everything, we used to put it in paper. So we see that all these things go according to that.
Anas, as I remember the camps, and I think the core strength for us was the volunteer group. I know we used to have people who would come and go. Some people would come, some people would go. We would have some people for camps, some people not for camps. I don't think we paid anybody anything in the volunteers. And the volunteers used to come, give their time freely, but also they would sponsor. They would sponsor, like I used to sponsor one day's
Yeah,
chicken or one day's egg. Somebody used to sponsor mutton, somebody used to do that. So I think our camps were highly successful because of all the volunteer group which we had,
yeah, yeah,
right? So and I think what you did really well was divide it into organizations, Anna. So maybe if you can talk about the organizations and a couple of core members for the
yeah.
camp, I think that will be good.
Yeah. So camp, as we know, is a camp where we have more than 400 or so children. And as we have a number of volunteers who voluntarily do, we have set up different responsibilities to different volunteers. I mean, if we have to put them as headings, no, we have reception, registration people, and program in charge few people, prayer in charge, then mainly the session speakers and music team, competitions team who do the competitions along with the volunteers for different groups of children, and also one of the most important thing, the food and physical arrangements, because that is one thing which is so important that we give I mean keep everything in time. And there was a big group which was so much involved in doing all the physical arrangements. And at the same time, as we all know that nearly about 400 or 500 children used to be there. We used to have the sound setup, and where there were nearly about 3 people who used to be in charge of that, and then the transport and photography and videography. So we have all these people involved, the members from different responsibilities being given. And to name a few, we have the senior most member who has been a great support for the ministry, Mr. K. Adbhutrao, and N.A. Harigaru, John Wcliffe, and also yourself, and also A.K. Solomon. And then we had program in charges, Prashant and Reverend Jesse Raj,
Mm.
and uh, John David and Kishore. and because Kishore also was good at singing, and at the same time, Jivita also, though she was in the singing team, but at times we used to also ask her to lead the sessions and other things. And mm, the core important thing was the prayers. And
Mm.
we had Jesse's, Reverend Jesse's mother,
Mm.
Mrs. Mary Alexander, and Mrs. Vinoda, who were praying during the camp timings and upholding all the programs that were going on. And coming to session speakers, we had a few of them, but every year the session speakers used to change. But some of them were like Joel Hamilton and Mrs. Shibu. They were all the ex-students of our earlier camps. Uh, Karna Sri and Sifa Sarun and Jivita and team. So they were the session speakers. And coming to the music part of it, where children, they just look forward for the singing, the
Yeah.
songs, and every year as we have different themes, the theme songs, and some of the songs which were so well liked by the children. We used to have Johnson heading this whole music team, ably helped by Sheba, Dennis, and Ben. Some of the members, they overlap. They are in
Multiple.
uh, the responsibilities. So Dennis, Ben, and Sanjana, that's Gudia, Sunil's daughter, and Sweetie and Millie, Jesse's daughters. And we also had Jeevan, who also was instrumental in composing a few of the Telugu songs for the camp. And also so many of them were there. Daniel, Gibson, Ravi, Sunny Solomon, and Sunny, son, and Joseph, Joel, Joseph, Noel, Sudhir, and Richard. Though Richard, he was there for 1 or 2 years, but he was a great help. And also Suman from the UCDC Church.
Mm.
So they were all part of this music team, and we used to divide them into two groups again, as and when needed during the sessions for seniors and juniors. They used to divide and try to fill up the time wherever needed. And the competition teams were mainly headed by Rufus Christopher, and there were a few others also. Prashant's wife, Sushma Prashant, and once again Vinay, and few others who were assisting them to be the quiz team. So Hepzibah, Mrs. Rachel, Neeraja,
Mm.
Mrs. Frida, Sony, Deborah, Adelina, and Mrs. Thomas, and all these were Santosh also, Santosh and Naveen. All these were the volunteers helping with the competition team.
Okay.
So a few of them like scoring, and few of them looking into the teams that are ready, and quiz teams that are ready, questions, and so many other things. They were there. And coming to the food and physical arrangements, mainly Sunil Raj and John David were the heads of this special team, and to ably assist them in getting the what you call vegetables and other things. Sudarshan was there, and also Oman, who
Mm.
was there, and the other physical arrangements. Many of our volunteers were there. Sharath, that is Bobby, and Sony again, and Anita, David, Nancy, Pradeep, and Rajkumar was there, Shekhar, and Lavanya,
Mm.
and Mr. Oman again, and then Usha, Sandeep,
Mm.
and they're all there in this physical arrangements. And then going to the sound, we had Joel, Joseph, and Dennis, and Ben, and along with a few other volunteers assisted by them. though their names are not there, but they were from the sound hired people. So we used to have them as helping in the sound team. And once again, Sunil Raj was in charge of the transport, as well as Vicky. That's John Wcliffe, whom we call Vicky. He also used to assist Sunil Raj. And lastly, it's photography and videography.
Very.
Uh, John Wickliffe was in charge, giving his valuable time and camera, and Joel Joseph and Noel Sudhir, both the brothers, also were helping with this photography. So all things were in place, like each one of them given the scheduled responsibilities, and that's how the team used to really work together.
Yeah, just looking at it. And then what I'll do is I will add this names in the end, Anna, as a thank you to all the TCM volunteers and sponsors, Anna. Which reminds me, Anna, whenever some people keep asking me, how does Anna fund this?
Mhm.
This camp, or how does Anna fund this ministry? How does Anna actually run this ministry? Because we are purely volunteer run ministry, right? So, and when we used to go for camps, inviting people, we never used to ask people for money, which was the first time I had seen somebody try to organize something and not ask for money. So that was very surprising to me, is that whenever you would organize the camp, you would never ask for money. We would go to people's house to invite them. And I
Yeah.
remember you telling me people actually keep money aside for camps. Like you had
Yes.
dedicated people who would just keep money aside for the camp, knowing that you would come, you would organize it in October, you would come in May, June to collect it. So maybe you can talk about how, where does that faith come from? God has been very faithful and merciful to the ministry. I don't remember any camp where we were in the negative. God always used to make sure that we were either a little bit positive or equal to whatever we were spending for the camp. So maybe if you can talk about that.
Yeah. Finances were as important as prayer, and to support the needed expenses. I recall one um, main thought that we all learned in the training. In our trainings in CF, there used to be a subject like how do you raise funds. So there were different kinds of uh, mm, raising funds, but one thought that they would always focus was ask God and tell His people.
Oh,
Yeah, we do ask God, but when we tell people, okay, this is what we are doing, this is how many children will be coming, and this is what would be the tentative expenses, and how we really spend the money that comes out. Because as you see, we used to really give what is the expense need, and how much we need to raise, and how do we raise. And a few times children also who come for the camps were encouraged, and we used to have like as you said, they used to collect from home, but also at the same time Sunday schools were encouraged, maybe like just few of the students, especially the upper age group children, like 12 and above, or so age. So we would have a small what you call the camp donation card,
hmm.
and it was not compulsory, but we used to give to the Sunday schools whom we visited and told them. Some used to voluntarily take, but some for certain reasons they used to not have these cards, but they used to surely support.
Hmm.
So that was one way where children also raised, and we used to make it a point that all these children to raise whatever amount, like be it 100 rupees or 500 rupees, were encouraged. And uh, also, we used to see that, uh, to appreciate. children who raised the highest amount. But we used to have all children given the what you call the memento and the medals
Right.
in appreciation for what they have done. But for children who did extra effort or raised the needed funds, because more of our registrations were to say subsidized, because we also used to arrange free transport. We never ever charged for transport, and transports we used to have nearly about 6 to 8 different location vans being picked up, and that was one way. Like children also, we also get free transportation, and at times some churches where a city bit outskirts like Balaji Nagar, Malkaram, they cannot afford to pay all the registration. So
Correct.
whatever like consolidated amount they used to pay,
Right.
and used to take 10, 20 children, and that's how they used to help the children from the uh, what you call established
Yeah.
churches. They
Yeah.
used to do that, and as you said already, God used to provide in some way or the other. And as you know, we start the camp with prayer, and we ask God. And when we ask God and tell His people, we never lack anything.
Yeah.
And I'm also reminded about missionary who said, God's work done in God's way will never lack God's supply.
Mm.
And that's it. And as you know, and as TCM, so many of the camps that we have been doing, though children come in more numbers than we expect, God never failed us,
Yeah.
and that's how it was helping us keep going. And we were able to have blessed, successful camps. And today, as we see, many of the campus who were students are now the present church volunteers, VBS volunteers, and some of them also being given the responsibility as VBS directors in their respective churches. And
Mm.
God has blessed all these young people,
Yes.
and that's it. The camp fruit that we could see over the period of years.
Yeah, very very true, Anna. I think what I'll do, Anna, is I will put the QR code on the top here.
Yeah.
If anybody who's been prompted or who wants to send donations to TCM, they can scan this QR code and send their
Yeah.
donations to you.
Yes.
I will also leave your number in the comments below. So if somebody wants to contact you for puppet show or wants to contact you for Sunday school
Yeah.
ministry, VBS ministry, or
Mm.
wants to donate to you, then they can contact you on that number, which I will leave below. If
Yeah.
you okay with that, Anna.
We have this small TCM brochure. I
Okay.
think you should be having
Yeah.
that also. You can put it on the what do you call the
Comments.
uh, comments. I don't know. I mean, I'll just send you that one because it has all the information, like as you said, what we do,
Mm,
and people can go through it.
mm,
And of course, in one of the last pages, it also says that they can support.
mm.
And of course, we have the details. And of course, as you say, you will put it in the messages. We can give the details if they need the other details other than the QR code.